Happy New Month, guys. Happy New Month. You're welcome to another exciting episode of the Nimitoye Show. And this is your girl, Nimi. I apologize for not dropping any episode for the past 2 weeks. I sincerely apologize. I was seriously ill, and don't worry, I got you. I'll be sharing my experience with you today. Alright, so the topic we're discussing today is stay safe. Yeah, I know you have heard this word or phrase over and over and over again. Well, I'm here to remind you again to please stay safe. COVID-19 is real and it's not a death sentence either, except for people with underlying health conditions and our aged people. So I tested positive for COVID-19 3 weeks ago, and that's why I've been unavailable here. So you had been wondering, how did it happen? How did I get infected? I told my mom was shouting over the phone. I was like, how did it happen? Blah, blah, blah. Really? But then, see, now I don't know how I got it. But then everything started with migraine. I had migraine and fever for 1 week straight. I couldn't really operate my phone. And if I want to, I would have to reduce the brightness because the lightning was affecting me. I couldn't go out when it's sunny. A lot of things really happened. Then I got a drug for migraine. Bro, this moment I feel better. The next moment it is back. It was hell. So before that week ended, I had cough. When I want to cough, and then I would have to be praying and thinking of how to get over the coughing because when I cough, chest pain accompanies it. So it was really painful, expelling the sputum and everything. It was really, really painful. And I had catarrh, and at some point my folks here suggested that I treat malaria, but I told them I wasn't going to do that because before the whole illness started, I had treated malaria for 3 months, like back to back. I started treating malaria in October, so I was treating malaria, and I was just tired of ingesting drugs. So I just bought drugs for cough. I bought drugs for the catarrh. Like the way the symptoms were coming, I was trying to treat them. But there was no difference. It even got worse. And so I just concluded, okay, I'll treat malaria, but this time I'll be doing injection. I don't want to take drugs. So, okay, I work with NCDC here in NYC orientation camp to test coppers for COVID. So I'm closer to one of the officials. So after I told him how I was feeling that morning, I told him the symptoms I'm having and everything. He just suggested that, okay, I go to the isolation center to run a COVID test. And my people, his guess was right. The results came out positive, and to cut the long story short, I was given drugs, and thank God I'm very, very much better now. I have tested negative. I am very, very much better. So guys, I really need you to stay safe. COVID-19 is real. So I would like to share a few myths and facts about COVID-19. So the first one is taking extra amounts of vitamin C can prevent infection. Okay, the body can only absorb, so I'm talking about the facts now. The body can only absorb a certain amount of vitamin C and then goes out as waste. A healthy immune system is your best defense against pathogens such as viruses. Some people have actually had COVID, but then, you've been hearing some people are symptomatic, some people are asymptomatic, but then they themselves, they didn't know, or right now some people have it, but they won't know, because when you have it, everything boils down to your immune system. When you have a healthy immune system, it fights against the viruses and everything. Then another one is herbal remedies and other medicines can prevent or treat the virus. You hear people say you can use garlic when you peel pineapple, the water, cold water, hot water bath. Taking hot water, drinking hot water, drinking cold water, and all of those things help? Well, there's no specific medicine recommended to prevent or treat the virus. Even the ones they give in the hospital is just to manage the virus, to manage you and the symptoms. Then you hear another myth is coronavirus only affects older people. Well, people of all ages can be infected by the virus. I am not old, I'm a young person. However, people with pre-existing health conditions appear to be more vulnerable. Pre-existing or underlying health conditions such as asthma, diabetes, kidney problems, heart conditions, and everything, they appear to be more vulnerable. Then, it's just advisable that everyone, young and old, should just take steps to protect themselves from contracting the virus. Then you hear people say, when I wear a mask, wearing a mask will prevent me from getting the virus. Well, it's not like that, because some people don't even wear the mask well, and when they wear it, when you're about to dispose it, you don't dispose it well. Then use that hand to eat and all of those things. So it's dicey. Once you remove your mask, make sure you wash your hands, dispose it off. You don't have to reuse and everything. Just make sure you wash your hands. Then you hear people say, okay, COVID-19 is for the rich and not for the poor. I am poor, I can't have COVID-19. Please, COVID-19 is not a respecter of any person. The rich get infected, the poor get infected. So far you are not doing the right thing and all of those things, and so far your immune system is not able to fight it, then the symptoms would definitely showcase or come up. All right, so I'm pleading with you to please adhere to all the precautionary measures. I think we know them, but let me just remind you. The first one is maintaining at least 1 meter distance between yourself and others. The second one is making wearing a mask a normal part of being around people. So far you're going to be around people, wear your mask. After I got infected, I once bitten, twice shy. I had to be wearing my mask every time. There was a particular time I went out and I was literally the only one wearing mask around outside, but I didn't care. I didn't care. All right, so and about the mask, we should not forget the appropriate use, the storage and cleaning or disposal of the mask are very essential to make those masks as effective as they can be, or it can be. All right, another one is regularly and thoroughly clean your hands with an alcohol-based hand rub or sanitizer, or wash them with soap and water. Then avoid touching your eyes, your nose and mouth, because through spaces that those things enter our body. Then cover your mouth and nose with your bent elbow or tissue when you cough or sneeze. And when you use tissue, you dispose of the used tissue immediately. You don't have to keep it so you can reuse it into a closed bin and wash your hands once you are done. They clean and disinfect surfaces frequently, especially those which are regularly touched, such as door handles and all of that. I know those things are not easy. So even if you can't do all those things, washing your hands will suffice for these things. All right, so what do you do if you feel unwell? So what do you do if you feel unwell? If you feel like, okay, I think I am not okay, I'm beginning to have some symptoms. The number one thing is you have to know the full range of symptoms of COVID-19. And the most common symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, cough, tiredness, and other symptoms that are less common and may affect some patients include loss of taste and smell, aches and pains, headache, sore throats, nasal congestion, red eyes, diarrhea, skin rash, and so on. And number 2 is stay home and self-isolate even if you have minor symptoms such as cough, headache, and mild fever until you recover. It's advisable to just stay at home and so you don't get to infect people, because you don't know, and you can now call healthcare provider or hotline. I know we are in Nigeria.